Welcome everyone to the Mark Box. It's me, your host, Makerere Marunga, with two interesting guests. Today, we shall be talking about a very sensitive topic that has brought about public debate. Recently, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Thomas Taewa, came out and revealed that most of the students that get admissions on government universities are those that come from well-to-do families, leaving out the majority of students out that study from the village schools. So today we have two different students from Makerere University that are going to be telling us their opinions. Can you please introduce yourselves?
Delighted to be here. I'm happy as you see me. Welcome viewers. I'm a student of Makerere University and I'm very glad.
So this debate that has been going on, yes, I know you guys are students. So what do you think? Is it really the case that is happening? Because we know maybe one of you is a government student or something like that. So I would like to know your opinions about what the Right Honorable is suggesting.
So I appreciate the fact that our members of Parliament actually to begin with the Right Honorable Speaker Thomas Taewa beginning to realize or recognizing that students or children from well-to-do families are the ones that are given that priority of acquiring the government sponsorship, depending on the school they attend. If you see the credentials or the criteria at which most public universities admit students on government sponsorship, you consider one who has performed this, leaving out other factors.
So they should look out for more than points. And they look at maybe something like economics.
Leaving out other factors like gender. Okay, gender they consider it, but still it's not even appropriate. The location in which the school is located, like schools which are located in town, probably they have good education. But me, I want to give myself as an example. One who studied from Murisa Primary School, deep down in the village. And that is village in Tungamo. They are very far, taking like almost an hour to go to school and get that education. And like teachers are not enough. And I try so hard. I read my content and I score like my 15 points. But even I fail to be admitted. But someone who is studied from Chitende, from St. Mary's, what? And I guess that opportunity.
How many points does the government admit students?
Varies depending on courses. For example, we have courses like medicine, we have courses like law, courses like those ones which need higher points. You see that it is always hard for a student who has studied from those schools, schools which do not have libraries, laboratories, enough teachers, raising that points which the universities have been leaving out the competence of a student has been set.
We've seen some students that come from such schools like maybe like Karamoja or the West, and they're on government sponsorship.
Now you consider the number. That is the reason as why like, the universities should consider other factors. If you can take a look at the numbers, for example, in like a district like Kabarameido, like we get only like 5 students, but let us come here in Kampala. Kampala you almost get like 100 students, and from rich families who have started from good schools paying actually higher tuition than here at Makerere University. So this thing is kind of imbalanced in nature.
But just to come in there, it's a very wrong assumption for one to say that people from rich families are the ones that are getting admitted on government. It is a huge assumption because only about 4,000 students are admitted on government.
But I think by the time he made that assumption, he was already sure that that is what is going on.
You can't be sure unless it's the Uganda Bureau of Statistics.
He's a member of Parliament, so.
No, not the Deputy Speaker, but the gentleman here. But even if it is the Deputy Speaker, if only 4,000 students are being admitted on government, and you have about 80,000 students going into universities. We've had students, about 800,000 students going into primary schools. So the argument here is that the government provides education, free public education for people at primary level and people at the secondary level. And the main reason why the government funds students at the university level, which is a point where the truth must be told. Not everyone can access education because of the high cost of that particular level of education. The reason why the government funds education at that level is to get quality individuals that can take the country forward, and this should solely be based on merit. It's a wrong assumption to say that because someone is studying from Chitende or any other big school, they are not working as hard. Actually, they work very hard. They may have an extra hand in the facilities, but they are also putting in a lot of effort. And that is why the program is called merit, and it is based on someone's ability, not their economic standing, not their sexual orientation or anything, but on the quality that they can.
Okay, right. Okay, let me ask you, why is it that now, leaving other factors constant, it goes ahead and consider a factor that gender, like the ladies are added 1.5 weights as in terms, why it can also consider the same factors?
That would be particularly interesting because the country has a policy on affirmative action for girls because of the disadvantaged position they live in within different communities. It's not based on wealth, it is based just on their sexual position that limits how much they can do. But when it comes to the economic position, the level of income that most Ugandans have, even the people that you may consider rich, may not actually be what one needs to afford education within a university. So for someone to consider the economic position of an individual to give them funding for education, what you may be looking at as rich, because it's an open concept. You think just because someone earns 1 million a month, then they can afford university education? It's a lot more expensive than that, which is the smartest.
So, Yamanda, what you're saying, that people that study from rural areas are not capable of becoming like maybe places like these big people, because they're saying that the government has funders that are studying from the urban areas, because for them they can be capable of giving us, like, providing better employment.
That's exactly what I'm not saying. What I'm saying is that the smartest students in the country, wherever they are from, whether it's in the urban areas, the rural areas, whether they are poor or rich, female or male, are the ones that should be funded by the state. And you've seen instances where people from these rural areas that are extremely brilliant are being funded by the state. It's actually quite problematic because in the past we had everyone that passed Form 6 being funded by the government. Now we've had a reduction. The Honorable Deputy Speaker, the position that he holds is very tricky because it's the same government that has continuously reduced the number of people that are being funded by government, and is now saying that they want to fund the poor. The poor people are very many in this country. Uganda is a very poor country.
Yeah, but
so
now,
if you want to help all the poor people in this country, you'll have a very.
But now let me interject.
In Kampala, but when we are poor.
But let me interject on that very thing you're speaking about. When shall those poor, because we see the vicious cycle of poverty, you see that the poor cannot raise money for investment, and if they fail to raise money for investment, they cannot save. But what I think Mr. Speaker what is trying to remove those very people from that vicious cycle of poverty by considering those factors. Because if we have seen the students that study from these schools, these are children of ministers, children of big business people, but those ones that are in rural villages, farmers and the peasants.
Okay, yes, we have. Of course, I know government sponsorship has one that is national and then the school program. So I think maybe those ones that in the villages can apply for the school program, right?
I want to assure you that the district quota also brings out those students that come from good schools. Actually, within that very same district.
Yeah, I heard of a story that someone can be like having a student that is from a Kampala school, and then they be like, they're going to net, so
they transfer. So actually, the government should do data analysis. Actually, before it admits students, go in the villages, go and consult the stakeholders.
And you see, that's a very interesting argument because you talked about three things: the district quota admission, and then the government admission, and then the economic position of these students. When you look at the district quota system, it is trying to remedy the inequality that could be brought about by schools in urban areas like Kampala having more students. But you see, usually when you want to solve a problem, you have to find out what is the actual problem. A university, even if someone was the poorest in the country and they got 6 points in Form 6, they will not be admitted in that university, despite the fact that the country may want whatever it wants. A university is an institution that has its quality standards. See, everyone has a right to education, and it is a very good thing that the government tries as much as possible to provide education at all these different people up to the Form 6 level. But when it comes to the university position, what you are looking at is the quality of the workforce that you are going to have. Therefore, what you want to admit are the best people in the country. What people should be looking at is the private admission. Because on private, even someone that is not that good and well qualified could be admitted if they can afford.
So we are going to go for a short commercial break, and then we come back, they'll be telling us more about what they think.
Said only 2 people are coming for the match.
I accidentally sent a message on my office WhatsApp. What are we going to do?
Never miss a goal this season. CJ's delivery right at your doorstep.
Welcome back from that short break. Before we went into the break, Mr. Abias was telling us something.
Well, Madam Moderator, on this very topic of actually extending or considering students from also poor families, I want to use this example, bring out this example. For example, when Mastercard is a non-governmental organization that sponsors students here at Makerere University, when it was considering those students to be admitted on their sponsorship scheme, they considered a variety of factors. Very many factors were considered. They carried out research. Actually, they could reach an extent of coming at your home, see exactly the home you come from, the place you come from, where you are born from. I think government should act in the same way by first conducting the research, go in the villages and making the research where these students come from, regardless of whichever points they have got.
You talked about Mastercard having all those criteria, but are you sure that they follow those criteria?
Me, I'm telling you the real criteria, and actually if we had the witness here, we will tell you that they even came at home.
That's a very interesting position in regards to Mastercard. So, you see, this is the argument that we are trying to make, that different programs have different purposes that they intend to serve. When you look at the Mastercard program or other non-government organizations that help students with their education, the problem that they are trying to deal with is the economic inequality that exists within communities. That's why some of them are even particularly rationed for regions that are economically disadvantaged.
But what Mr. Speaker was actually saying was arguing that these students on government scheme, actually they come from schools where they pay much higher fees than they pay here at university.
But Mr. Abias, let me first. You know that I can be a student studying from Chitende, but someone is paying my school fees. I don't think that everyone who is in a big school can afford to pay.
And that is the reason as why I go ahead and government should conduct the research.
What you're talking about is quite unrealistic. Mastercard only funds about between 100 and 200 students. You're talking about thousands and thousands when it comes to the government. When you ask that of the government that they go and research its students, you are asking for too much. And there are so many different levels that you would require them to investigate that admission will take years before they can produce a government list. So it should be clear at that point that there are people who would not afford education within this particular university, which is a model university, and you know the merit of being in such a university. But even the people that are in government right now may not actually afford the high cost of the education in this university. But then that would also lead to the question that, okay, now if people who are not very poor but have some money but can't afford, then what about the poor people altogether? Then that just begs the question that the country or the government should deal with the poverty levels within the country so that people can afford education, or create other subsidies within other universities so that people can access education at cheaper costs within those other universities.
Okay, so as we conclude, I think you've heard everything from them. They're going to tell us their last words before the show ends.
Yeah, me as a conclude, actually, this is an active, education actually should be zero. Because if people don't attain education, that means they are really not productive. We are not going to have our tax base is always will remain low. Development is going to remain in a shambles. Like government, please, you can even, I request that you even zero education, that the child of the poor, the child of the rich can have the same avenue, can have a level ground where they can exercise their talents in order to have a developed country. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Very glad to join you. And my last word would be that the importance of education is undoubted. It is a very good thing that everyone should have access to education. And my last word would be that the different levels where the government is providing free education should ensure that it provides quality education to these different students. It really doesn't take it doesn't take much. You just have to have effective supervision so that the people that you pay to teach these students actually teach them, so that these students can therefore compete at the national level with students within private institutions.
Okay. Thank you so much, our dear guests, for joining us today. Hope you've got something, and we hope that your opinions will be aired out. I'm your host, Makerere.